Things got out of control fast when a toxic divorce spilled into a criminal courtroom, but Judge Michael wasn't having it. What he said about using children in conflict shocked everyone in the room.
I need Mr. Malmston brought in.
Bringing him in.
Your name, Mr. Darren?
Nicholas Darren on behalf of Ms. Malmston.
Ms. Malm?
Minnie Malmston.
So, come on up here, sir, if you would, please. So I need to advise you, Mr. Malmston, your name, sir?
Malmston?
Good morning or good afternoon. As I was heading to my chambers just now, I was handed a paper that you wrote to me, and they said that you didn't want me to share it. If I read this, I have to let the defense see it. I want you to know that.
That's fine.
So you understand I'm going to read it.
Your Honor, if I have just one moment.
That's the mail letter?
This is an email that was sent today, it looks like, at 1:00 and 51 seconds. It was sent to Laura Dodge.
Your Honor, that is the statement, the victim impact statement that we got.
So what I'm trying, I get it.
Yes.
Hang on.
Yes.
What I'm trying to tell everybody is I can't have secrets here. So I will, if I'm going to read this, he has to understand I'm going to let the defense, I'm either going to read it out loud so they can hear it, or I'm going to give them an opportunity to read it.
Your Honor, he did not want to say it himself. He asked that the court say it. So
It's fine.
you may read it aloud.
Okay. So your client pled guilty to domestic violence under 76948. And this is the page that I received. Your Honor, thank you for allowing me to speak. My name is Anthony Malmston. I've been with Mindy for 25 years and experienced over 2 decades of verbal, emotional, financial, and physical abuse. Looking at the past year alone, there have been 5 domestic violence incidents involving me and our 3 children. She's caused fear and instability for our family. The children were present during all of these incidents and were physically and emotionally affected at times. As a result, the children and I are in long-term therapy and receiving ongoing treatment for complex PTSD stemming from years of abuse. I am not here for a revenge, but they ask for meaningful accountability. Given the number of incidents and the impact on our family, I believe the proposed sentence is far too light. I respectfully request a comprehensive mental health evaluation, mandatory anger management counseling, and regular drug testing. I also ask that she follow any doctor-recommended treatment plan, including remaining compliant with prescribed medications, which has been an ongoing struggle. Our family has relied heavily on First Step for support and counseling services. I ask that she be required to contribute to the Victims Fund to support future victims, John. I also request that the no contact order be upheld, extended, and strictly enforced, as she has been accused of violating it 3 times in the past 6 months. My priority is the safety and stability of my children and family. I ask the court to ensure accountability along with the appropriate treatment. Thank you. Ms. Holloway, correct me if I'm wrong. There was no alcohol involved here, was there?
I'm just going to take a second to confirm.
Please. I read the report. I do not remember seeing any mention of alcohol or drugs being involved.
There was no.
So that, just so everybody knows, I don't order that kind of a no alcohol or drugs unless it had something, somehow, some way to do with the incident. There's no indication that it was here. Have you had a chance to review the screening and the pre-sentence report with your client? And are there any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
Yes, Your Honor. So I guess one thing to address, I know we came in on Zoom kind of last minute right before the trial to put this on the record. At that time, the offer that was tendered was 7694A for a 6-month probationary period. You said you would go along with that. You actually voir dired the victim in this matter, and he said that he was in agreement with that as well.
Did you have a 6-month agreement on this?
Yeah,
I don't usually do sentence agreements. I can tell you that. Okay, that's what you're recommending. Did you take that as a sentence agreement?
Well, yeah, well, yes. And then when you said I'll go along with
Let me
it,
go listen to the tape. If I said yes, I'll go along with it, I'll go along with it. I'm gonna go listen to the tape. We'll pull out the log notes. So you guys will have to be seated for a few minutes while I go on to a couple of one of these. I don't do those.
and I do know she said it was a recommendation. She said that, and then Miss Oliver, sorry, I apologize, said that this was our recommendation.
And I said,
We'll go along with that. And then we took the plea. You asked Mr. Molson.
I don't want you telling me how many months I'm gonna do anymore then. Will you do that for me? Usually I do less than you guys ask, but I'm not gonna do less when you guys put down 12 if I can't do more when I think it might justify more. I'm not saying it does or doesn't here. I got a lot of questions in my own brain here, like a 26-week domestic violence program. I don't have that in my brain. This assault was not serious enough. Not that any domestic assault isn't serious enough, but I'm not ordering 26 weeks domestic violence batters counseling when there's a simple push. I'm not doing that.
made recommendations as per your request. So I would be.
Well, my request is always leave it to me, right? I want to be able to be the sentence. I don't do cops pleas. I haven't done cops pleas since 1995 or 6. And I'm not starting today or anytime between time now and the time that I leave. So if you really were that insistent on 6 months, I'll go listen to the tape, but you guys just have to be around here.
It's fine.
No. Is that what you want me to do?
I would like you to listen to tape because outside of all of that, Your Honor, and is the negotiations between me and Miss Oliver.
She's not the prosecutor, or she's not the judge.
I understand she's not the judge. I got that.
So that's what I understand is when lawyers start telling me what they think of do, and I'm not going to go along with these sentence agreements. This is silly.
I understand, but what I was.
So I'm cutting it both ways here. I'm not going to go along with the 26-week recommendation because it doesn't merit it. But if I think more than 6 months is merited, I don't want some lawyer telling me you or anybody else, you agreed to 6 months. If I agreed to 6 months, I'll honor 6 months. But it's going to just take us some time. My regular recorder isn't here. My regular recorder isn't here. I'll be glad to look at it. If I said I'll go along with that, I might have meant 76948. I got to listen to the context.
I mean, my memory is good, not. I remember saying that. I guess
You want 6 months, probation recommends 12. That's where we are.
well, I think if you could pass it for 2 minutes.
I'll be glad to do
Let me
that.
talk to my client because I think I think she has a different concern really than the length. So if that's the case,
I'm going to be fair with her.
I don't dispute that, Your Honor. I've been in front of you for 13 years.
I know. Okay. You can talk to her, but honestly, if I said I don't want anybody to walk out of here thinking that I'm going to change my mind without offering them the opportunity to withdraw the plea. So if I said I'll go along with 6 months probation, then I'm going to go along with 6 months probation.
No, absolutely.
You know,
I fully understand that.
okay.
Just give me an
Have a conversation. Take your time. I'm going to real quick take Rakeem Deshaun Gadsden, 25F244729.
Ready again, Your Honor.
All right, come on up here. Your name, ma'am?
Mindy Malmston.
All right, counsel, your appearance.
Nicholas Darren, half the defendant stands my record.
All right. You've reviewed the report, right?
I have, Your Honor.
Any material additions, corrections, or deletions?
No. I just have some things to say.
Sure, go ahead.
So, Your Honor, this all has arisen, and there's a relatively nasty divorce case that's going on as well alongside this. This case, in conjunction with litigate the whole divorce case, I'm sure you've seen this enough times. There's been issues with the minor children, people not following orders, houses are being ordered to be sold, things of all that nature that have, pumped up the animosity in this case as well. Your Honor, I think you nailed it on the head when you looked at the report. I would say the video is similar with the officer's conversations with the victim in this case. I agree with you. I don't think that the 26-week domestic violence program is necessary in this one. There was a order in the family law. One thing we did discuss was contact pursuant to the Third Circuit Court, because there is orders in place that allow her to see her minor children. I'm not even going to get into how that's been going because of various outside factors. But Your Honor, at this point, these parties are essentially electricity and water. If my client said the sky was blue, the victim would disagree. If the victim said that water is wet, my client would disagree. Me and the counsel in the divorce case are doing our best to try and bring some sort of sanity and semblance to this case. They've been urged by the Third Circuit Court judge to try and put down their swords and come to some resolution. We are going to mediation, I believe later this week or early next week, with where I have hopes that we'll reach some sort of settlement in this matter. I'll be honest, Your Honor, I don't think you're going to have any problems with my client on probation. She has no prior record of any kind. I think she's going to be a model probationer for you. I think she'll be in compliance. She works full time for the United States Post Office, and she wants this behind her as much as possible. She wants to move forward. At this point, she's come to some realization with the other case that there has been damage done that's only time will heal, and no matter what she wants, it's not going to happen at that certain rate. So, Your Honor, I'm just asking you, obviously, make some corrections to the recommendation, but I do believe that whatever term you place her on for probation, this will be the last time you see her. I don't think there's going to be any issues. These two parties, I understand that there's a request for a no contact order, but these two parties are going to share legal custody of these children. They're going to have to communicate about these children. They're going to have to communicate to do parenting time, to do exchanges if something happens to a child. So if this court continues and just does a flat no contact order, I'm sure you'll be back. You'll see Mr. Malmsteen come in here and say that there's been contact because, oh, my client went to the school or something like that to see her kids and he was there. Or, oh, they had a conversation because the child was sick and she needed to relay that information to him. So as I'm sure you've seen countless domestic violence like this before in front of you where there's a pending divorce case and you understand the heightened level that the parties give it. But at this point, Your Honor, my client, like I said, will be a model probationer. I don't think there'll be any issues. And I ask you to follow the recommendations with some of the modifications as I had mentioned and you had mentioned previously.
Can I ask you a question, sir? Do you mind coming up here? Or would you rather not? Come on up. Your name? I'm looking at this report again, and there's like a supplement that talks about Norco and Adderall.
Yes, for the last 10 years, Mindy has made me give her half of my medication every day,
That's not true.
which is Adderall. Yeah. She's suffered from many alcoholic and drug problems throughout the 25 years and been in treatment.
Have you been in treatment?
No, sir.
Your Honor, she reported to your probation department that she's with Dr. D and that she gets a medication. I mean, that's not, I didn't correct it because that's what it is. I mean, she is openly disclosed that. So again,
I've seen Dr. E for 10 years.
Your Honor, like I said, this one hits my top 10 list as far as divorces in 15 years. So, and I mean, we can, like I said, I'm not really interested in litigating the case on the whole thing, but she hasn't seen her kids since this incident. And
Your Honor,
go ahead.
if that's a no more, I have no objection to a recommendation for treatment. I don't see any harm in an evaluation.
But what's the treatment? She's already with someone who she's been treating with for 10 years.
Well, I'm not worried about that. She's going to continue to treat with him. That's not the issue. I don't even need a psychological evaluation. I'm concerned about this this additional interview that I'm just seeing.
But, and if it's the additional interview, I'm thinking that's when he came back to the police department after the fact to then info dump an additional set of facts, which I'm, again, out of respect for him, I'm not going to bring up most of that. So, Your Honor, like I said, there was an arrest. There was this report, which is the initial report. And then he comes back with the eldest child, who him and her have been in here at every court appearance, posting on Facebook, taking selfies in your courthouse about how they're here to put and take care of the wrongdoer. So, I mean, Your Honor, like, when I say top 10, I've done thousands of divorces. It's everything.
All right.
Rightfully made a report and made other reports, so that, I believe what you're looking at is a part of other reports. Or other reports were made from that supplement. So if there are allegations to that, again, I don't see any harm in the evaluation, and I would have no objection to your recommendation for that.
I'm talking about abstaining from the use of alcohol and drugs. I don't see any incident where this was involved in this incident. In other words, I don't see any reference in a report where she was under the influence of alcohol or drugs or both at the time of the incident. He didn't say it then. He's talking more about past history. What I'm going to do is this. Do you have anything else you wanted to say?
Just that I did review the PSI. It does say 12 months. Nick and I did speak about, or Mr. Darren and I did speak about 6 months. But for the record, I have no objection to the court following the recommendations of the PSI. If so choose.
How old are the children?
They're the eldest is 21, and there's 14 and
I don't care if they're 21, 14, 8, or 56. You guys cannot get your children in the middle of your issues. You cannot do that. That is so incredibly harmful to a child who loves, I'm certain, both of her parents or his parents. You cannot do that. I don't care how much you want to do that. I don't care how much satisfaction you get out of turning a child against the other parent. And I'm referring to both of you. You cannot do that. That cannot happen. I'm not talking to anybody in particular here. I'm just talking to both of you. 9 months probation. If I let you finish, did you want to say anything else?
No.
I mean, if there's one thing I've agreed with is what Mr. Darren said about the circuit judges, including them to put or encouraging them to put their swords down. You cannot do this, folks. Okay, so you're not happy. People get divorced in this country every single day. Not just one couple, probably thousands. I mean, I don't know what percentage of marriages work to the point that they last forever, but okay, so you want a divorce. I get it. Maybe one of you do. Maybe both of you do. Maybe both of you can't stand each other. You cannot harbor ill will toward the other in front of your children. It is damaging. 9 months probation. You cannot leave the state without the consent of the court. You cannot violate any law or ordinance of any unit of government. If you change your address, your place of employment, or home telephone number, you must notify the probation department. You do have to report as directed. I'm going to order that you continue your mental health treatment at the facility approved by probation. I'm going to order that you attend the domestic violence weekend program. This assault doesn't rise to that level of requiring 26 weeks. No contact with the victim except to effectuate visitation with the minor children in accordance with the order of the Wayne County Circuit Court. I can't believe, is there an order sharing custody at least right now? Did you guys have a hearing on that?
We haven't had I filed a motion for parenting time, and Judge Farhat just ruled and ordered parenting time and joint legal custody and said this, and then sent us to mediation, which is at the end.
So you got, there is an order from the circuit judge
For parenting time. And
okay. So there's to be no contact except to effectuate visitation. I would like to think you two are adult enough where you can at least communicate with one another I'll pick them up at 6. I'll drop them off at 4, whatever the case may be. But that's the order of the court. You're not to possess any firearms. You're not to possess any dangerous weapons. You're to serve 4 days jail credit, 1 serve 3. I'll let you serve those with community service. I'm going to give you till April the 30th to complete 24 hours of community service. We're going to give you a prosecutorial review date here in a minute. I'm going to order that you pay fines of $100, cost $200, $75 victims' rights fee, $50 justice assessment. So fines and costs are $4.25. Probation fees are $180 for $605, and then you have screening fee of $60. I'm not going to order the court work program. $665. If you violate, your probation could be revoked. I'm taking it under 7694A, as I said. If you comply, the case will be dismissed on motion of the prosecutor. The only agency that will be able to see that are police officers, judges, prosecutors, nobody else. It'll be a non-public record for all time. If you're compliant, the case is dismissed. If you violate, you can become non-public. Like I said, your 769 status could be revoked, and then it will go on your record for all time. So, do we understand the sentence? Anybody have any questions?
No questions here.
Can she pay that today? $665.
A couple hundred a day, Your Honor, but we should be able to get that taken care of within 30.
I'll just give you till April 15th to pay it. Can you do that? You pay $200 a day and then the balance by April 15th. You'll meet with probation. Give me the review hearing date, if you will, Heather. So it should be out in
December 3rd. I'm sorry, Judge, I was muted.
December 3rd of 26 at 8:30. You don't have to come, Mr. Darren, if she's compliant. Okay. Anything else? Did I miss anything, Ms. Alway? Mr. Darren, anything else?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Ma'am, anything else? Sir, anything else? And I wish you guys well. I truly do. Hopefully, you're going to recognize children are much, 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 much more important than we are. Good luck. Thank
Your Honor,
you.
do you want me to take her to probation first, or does it?
Yeah, take her to probation. Thanks.
Thank you.